Good afternoon, everybody. In today's Couch Talk, we have Opeyemi, a software engineer, who will tell us the advantages of transitioning into your career of choice, especially into tech.
Okay, a little bit about myself. My name is Opeyemi Adinola. I'm Nigerian. I live outside Manchester, in Greater Manchester. I'm 29, software engineer. Worked in the industry for about 4 years, but originally an English grad. Went to Edge Hill University, just outside Liverpool, in a place called Omskirk. So I decided to transition into the tech space from working in tech recruitment specifically, which is sales, a sales industry. And the reason for these are the reason for the change is mainly financial at first, but also I wanted to feel challenged. So when I worked in sales, it has its own difficulties, but I didn't feel like I was pushing myself on a daily basis. So I made the change mainly for financial reasons and also to feel challenged. So why software engineering specifically? I wanted to move into the tech space. I was a tech recruiter and I was recruiting for data analysts and data scientists on a contract basis. They were being paid about £500 a day. So you can imagine what my mind was thinking at that point. But I didn't find data as interesting as I found software, because with software, you're building something creative, whereas with data, you're analyzing, which isn't really my forte. So I looked at the options to move into either of the two, and I didn't want to go back to university and probably spend, 3, maybe more years there. I looked at either self-teaching, which would require me to go onto YouTube and be quite disciplined with myself, or to go to a boot camp. So I opted out of the other two options and chose to go to a boot camp, which was a great investment because it allowed me to learn about the fundamentals of programming, the back end, the front end, and have a portfolio project at the end of the program. Also, roughly 2 weeks after I graduated from my boot camp, I was able to get employment. So it worked out really well for me, and I enjoyed the entire process. So the technical skills you need to have to be a software engineer would be dependent on what company you want to work with. So for example, I learned to program in JavaScript. So this is one of the, I'd say, easiest language to pick up in terms of the syntax, the way it's written. It's like it's written in English language. So the idea of of a programming language is for you to give a command to a computer to do a certain thing. So you can pick up JavaScript because also you can do multiple things with JavaScript. You can write back-end solutions with JavaScript and also write front-end with it. If you want a full knowledge of software engineering and want to be able to build an application from the scratch, you want to pick up something called SQL, which is a structured querying language. It's for the database. So essentially, when you collect data, where do you store it and how do you utilize it? And to retrieve it, you need SQL. In terms of soft skills, I would say teamwork, being able to work within a team. If you've ever played any team sport, if you go to any programs that require you to work and communicate with other people, then you've probably got some sort of teamwork knowledge. But having that as at the forefront of your mind is also important, because you will be working with other people and no one man can ever build anything great. And also problem solving skills. So the ability to take a problem, to identify the key tools and leverage that will be needed to find a solution for it, and also making a plan to get to that solution. So the journey that's got me to this point, when I look back, I definitely didn't have the same mindset as most of my peers. I think some of them did study sports and Others actually did study engineering. I'd say I was unsure as many others and some children at this stage. At the stage where they're in maybe secondary school, maybe in college, and they're just not quite sure. I think that's normal. It's something that you'll go through. But personally, I knew that I wanted something that would be that will bring pride to myself and to my family. And that was a big part of my decision making when I looked at the world of careers. Um, but ultimately, like I said, my career into tech didn't come till later on. Prior to that, I was studying English. But my mind shift was always what would bring the most pride to myself and also would be something that was challenging for me. I've always felt like I could do more than I was ever doing at any one point. Maybe that's something personal to me, but I think it's normal to have that about yourself with anything you're doing. So having that mindset that you don't need to follow the crowd, you definitely need to find a road for yourself that's both financially, I mean, with the state of the economy as we have it now, it's important to have that at the back of your mind. Is the road I'm following going to pay well? And also, is it something that would mean that I could move cities, never mind even countries, and still be able to have a job? That's something that's vital and came to play when I thought, okay, now I'm going to go into the tech space. Could I go to Australia and work there? Could I go to Nigeria and work there? Yes. America, work there? Yes. I can work remotely and on the ground, and it will still be the same thing that I'm doing. So that definitely played a huge part. So definitely still have a chance in tech if you don't have GCSEs, right? So if you keep up within the tech world, you understand that Google recently rolled out job applications and openings for people that don't have degrees in tech because it's now become archaic to look at only people that have studied computer science or IT that can only program because they understand that actually programming isn't about the theory of ones and zeros. It's actually about problem solving. And anyone that is, you could go to the market and someone that's never actually gone to school has a good understanding of problem solving and logic. If you can have a good conversation, you'll understand how to have a good logic because you know how to put your arguments together. And essentially that's what it is. When you write programming language, it's no more than writing a story. It's no more than writing a poem. You're given a computer an instruction that solves a problem. So yeah, you can definitely do well. I have plenty of stories I can refer you to and that are documented on YouTube of software engineers that are self-taught. I've never gone to uni or even gone to secondary school, or I've dropped out. It's even something that's known back in the day that if you're a really good software engineer, you'd usually drop out of school because they tend to be children that are intelligent but don't like the conventional restraints of school. So if you are intelligent and do have the passion to program, you can pick up these skills without going to school. You can definitely just program on the side and just enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you'll do well in it. That's already a big a green tick that employers will see because they know that you're doing it for your own substance, not just for anyone else's, not just for the company. And added on top of that, you will always go far.